We're back. Midwest Most Dangerous Podcast, Season 15, season premiere, coming to you live from the NECA IBEW Power in Indiana Lake County Studios. This is Left of Center Podcast.
Good morning.
Hey, welcome back.
Season 15.
Yes, sir.
It's happening, John.
Morning, Joe.
Hey.
Hey, John.
Morning.
What's up?
John seemed the least excited.
No, you know me. I'm just producing over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
busy.
Doing what you do.
What?
Making sure the
Foul
airplane's in the
air.
air, you know.
Producing air. What's up?
I'm looking forward to season 15.
Yeah.
We've got some exciting stuff happening.
We had, like, crap going down in America, and we were not on the air.
Yeah, we talked about that. It was nice to have a break, but there was like, man, I would have loved to talk
Yeah.
about that signal gate.
I don't think we can go off the air anymore. Like the world
Don't.
falls
Yeah,
apart.
yes, we can, Jill.
Yes, we can. We had that
Mute her
discussion
mic.
again.
Yes, mute that mic.
So for the audience out there, we have this constant discussion on LOCPod about whether we stay with the seasons format, which actually gives you more, or go to
More of
once
us.
a week. It's more of us. You get more. So what? 24 times 3? What? 72.
72.
20
You get-
seasons a year.
You get
Yes, we're getting there.
You get 72 episodes a year under our current format. If we did once a week, obviously it's only 52. So
See?
yeah.
But we wouldn't get breaks.
we wouldn't get breaks.
I like
so
the breaks.
we like our breaks.
Mhm.
So
Thank
go,
you.
We
We
have
go
panic.
hard.
We have panic in the chat already.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's
Nice.
Taylor? They want to know where Taylor is.
Oh.
It was a season 15 decision. I'm open. By the way, that was old Taylor. That was young Taylor.
Send us a new Taylor.
I would like a new Taylor.
Yeah.
I
With-
got sick of seeing
With
her over my
Kelsey next
shoulder.
to her?
No,
No, you just
No.
want Taylor.
No.
You don't want the couple?
I do not. I gave Taylor to Kevin. Taylor's in Kevin's office.
Happy birthday.
I'm
Kevin.
open.
Yes.
I am open. Yeah. Kevin's going to use that like he used the Farrah Fawcett poster. Old school.
She's still right here.
Old school.
She's still hanging out right here for me.
That was like a season 1
Season
thing.
1, yeah.
That was when we didn't realize we were a dirty show. Because
We were
Kevin
just
was
You
sitting
getting
there.
didn't, you didn't
There's
get
a lot
that?
of swearing
I
in episode
realized
1,
it. I don't
but
think the audience realized it yet.
Tom's head was like, this show's going to get so dirty.
This is going to be, I was like, this is going to be such a newsy, policy-oriented, wonky show. And then,
Garage sale in Griffith next week.
then Kevin's like, I used that poster all the time when I was a kid, you nasty ass.
That was it.
You
Yeah.
can actually look back and pinpoint that's when we turned a corner.
Yes.
It's
It was like,
Kevin's fault.
you used a Farrah Fawcett poster? What the hell does that mean? And then LOCPod never turned back.
And, Tom was like, finally, we made it. We were here.
You didn't have a
dirty.
chance when you added me.
We're dirty. Oh, of course, so.
No.
It was a conscious decision to add you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
One funny thing about Taylor in my office, which Tom decided as a joke to put in my office, it scared the shit out of my staff. Like they walked in, it, Madeline was like, "I got so scared when I saw Taylor Swift."
It is.
You should
freak
put her
out
in
a
the
little bit.
window facing
Yeah,
out so everybody
facing
driving
out.
by can see it.
In my office, I have like Tom McDermott's all over looking at me. Like
That's what I
Tom
wanna
McDermott
put
with
back.
a mustache, Tom McDermott with a cowboy hat. Like,
That's who I want up here.
oh, yeah?
That-
Yeah, so you're always
that
here even
kind
when
of
you're not
person.
here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We should do it whenever we have a guest in for me. And then we'll
Maybe-
put me over
Or
their
maybe we'll
shoulder.
put you next to Taylor.
Yeah.
See?
I
Kevin,
see
you
it.
don't have pictures of yourself all over your office?
I do not.
No? Okay.
I don't buy these, by the way.
That's
They
true.
give
They
them to
show
me.
up.
But
Yeah,
they're
they show up.
there.
I'm not like out ordering huge posters.
I want a
myself.
picture of me in a cowboy hat
Could
and
I?
a mustache.
Yeah. Could you get
Giddy
one that's
up.
really buff? It makes me look really handsome. All right. Anybody go anywhere on break? This is our typical welcome back bullshit segment.
I did not. I just worked, caught up on work. Yeah.
Really? Thank you.
I didn't
John.
go anywhere.
Thank you, John. How about you,
Well,
Jill?
No, same.
What? You always travel.
I usually go in the fall.
Looks
Yeah.
like looks like you're the traveling man, Tom.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, you travel too.
A little bit, but you had a
Kevin and I went skiing.
We did. We got to go to Tahoe, and then we got a couple pictures of that. But before so
That's heavily
Tom
resort.
has been trying to get me to go to Tahoe for a long time because Tahoe is the resort where he kind of grew up skiing, just because it's
Heavenly
close to where
Valley.
he grew up. It's a couple hours or 2.5 hours
Yeah.
from where you grew up, right?
Yeah.
So he's always been like, you got to go to ski Tahoe. You got to go to ski Tahoe. So this time he was going with one of his really good friends from high school, Deuce, who I've had the pleasure to meet as well. And we grabbed Bobby Lundy, and we went. And Bobby and I flew out. And I got to
And
tell
that doctor.
you,
The doctor was cool too.
oh
We
yeah,
skied
that
with
was
him. He was a
Deuce's
surgeon.
friend. Yeah, Deuce's buddy.
Deuce's
yeah.
doctor buddy. Yeah.
And so I got to tell you, I had never been to Tahoe. Number one, it's beautiful. The lake, just the lake out there. And there's one part, and Tom knows the mountain really well. So he's like, hey, come this way. We're going to go on the Nevada side, or we're going to go on the California side. And you ski around this one bend, and you literally can see the lake. Oh, yeah. And then on the other side, you see below you the desert. And it's like dry. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's like 80 degrees on the desert floor, and you're on a frozen mountain, and you could see Lake Tahoe, which is freezing cold, off to one side, and then on the other side of your vision, you see this desert floor. It's very cool. It is
Yeah,
really
so
cool.
just having the lake below you when you're skiing down, and the conditions were just unbelievable. It was a great experience. If you are a skier and you've never skied Heavenly, I really recommend it. It was
expert.
I was going to say,
Experts
does
only.
that mean you guys are experts?
We were flying down that bitch.
You
We
did
were
this
flying
one?
down that bitch.
Be careful.
Flying down that.
It was pretty.
That was
steep.
the one that we were kamikazeing down that one. You mean Bob?
Yeah.
And Deuce. And Deuce was and Deuce had a really bad wreck when he was young, like about a decade ago, a real bad bike wreck, and it's changed his whole life. He's a lot more conservative, and now as a skier, he's a lot more conservative. So
understandable, by the way. He almost died.
He had like a major concussion. Like I mean, if he has
Deuce.
another,
Yeah, Deuce.
Yeah, I met him.
yeah, Deuce is the best.
Do you
But
know
so
more
we
than-
would,
Do you know more than one Deuce?
yeah, Deuce is
It
like
just wasn't clicking.
it
with
wild?
what
me.
a great last name, by the way. He
That's
grew up-
his real name?
yeah.
That's great.
His whole life, but when you're kids, you call him
Oh, yeah.
douchebag, of course, because you're kids. Like I don't
Douchebag.
call him that anymore. Every once in a while, possibly, but so we would send him down, and we'd give him like a minute, right? And we'd be sitting there like la la la, like, and then we would bomb after him. It was so awesome because Kevin, Bob, and I are all about the same type of skier. And we were just going balls out trying to catch Juice, who's literally got like a half a mile to a mile lead on us. And we'd catch him usually right at the bottom, and we'd pass him up like fighter jets. It was so epic. It was so amazing. And you're doing this in the most beautiful ski resort.
Yeah,
in
it
the
really,
world.
really
Heavenly.
was gorgeous. And we've been lucky to ski at some really good places, and but this is way up there. And so that's Tom on the
That's
gondola.
the gondola from the Incline Village up. You
And you
get
just-
like a little private gondola. People pay $100 to do that, and that's part of the day when you're skiing. That's just your first lift.
Yep.
People literally, they don't ski. They'll pay $100 to go up just to be able to take pictures and go back down. And we were up there just playing
How long is the ride up there?
20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say a little bit
So
less than
you can
20.
get some- there's people been known to partake in California activities on the gondola ride up.
Yeah,
you know.
let's talk about.
We have enough. Oh, look at that.
Oh, damn.
Okay, that was a dispensary in California.
I love the name of this dispensary, by the way. Lake and Bake.
That's
Lake
good.
and Bake. That was on the California side. I think Nevada side is legal too, for the record. I just want to point out when people think I'm breaking the law, and I'm not. I'm just sitting
This
there
is like just
partaking in a
this
California
is Tom's
activity.
après ski event.
Yes, yes, that is my après ski event. That's me in front of a dispensary, and I was going to use that as my 420 picture, actually. And that was Kevin took it. We had every intention on using that for my 420 picture, me lighting up right in front of a dispensary, and then I realized, 420 fell on Easter.
Yeah,
you can't
probably-
really drop that profile pic on Easter.
It harshes the vibe, doesn't it, a little bit?
You
The
harshed my
the
Easter.
420 vibe.
I got to talk to the new pope about making sure that never happens
falls
again.
Throw your name in the hat for that.
Dude, I heard that Trump's putting them in because nobody popes like the Trumper
Wait,
does.
you know what I saw
Nobody knows
yesterday
pumping
was,
more than I do.
Pumping.
Pumping,
Future-
pope, and
was
I
it-
said pump,
oh,
pumping.
Future. I heard Future was the fucking rapper was like in the running. I'm like, what?
Is that
Future?
Is that
Future is a pope?
Is that
Like
a
I want
submarine hat?
The
I want
future
a
pope?
pope that could entertain me.
Tom, on this photo, is that one of your Rickover hats?
Yeah,
That's cool.
My veteran
I
hat.
forgot that. That's really
I
cool.
love the color of that jacket.
I do too. By the way, that jacket is awesome because it's a 2-layer North Face, and I didn't even realize you could bust that out on its own, and I do it all the time.
I let Tom know you can actually unzip that out of your shell and wear it
Yeah,
around
Kevin
town.
showed me, and I was like, because California when we were there on the ground level,
On
it
the
was
base,
like 60 degrees down there.
Not
was
even,
totally,
dude. It was
totally
like
pleasant.
It was
Totally pleasant. So
What do we got
look
here?
at Kevin.
Wow.
Look at Kevin.
Oh,
look at
that's
us chilling.
What
that's
a
me at
pimp.
my après.
Après.
Mm-hmm. I just had a little whiskey there.
Are you
Little
work-
whiskey
Wait,
action.
you're
That was a
working, right? You're working.
Fire and Ice. He was.
I was
Answering
probably
emails?
Dude.
texting John.
It was that a work day? I'm trying to. I think it was.
No,
Saturday.
it was
That
a
Saturday.
weekend. I was probably checking scores or something.
Yeah,
It was an NCAA tournament. So.
He was doing something official.
That's the most relaxed I've ever seen Kevin.
Kevin is pretty freaking chill there.
Tahoe, man.
Look at him.
Tahoe
with his
brings out chill
was
vibes.
very
25-year-old
relaxing.
McKellen.
That's when that freaking third edible hit him. You could tell.
Yeah.
It's like,
No.
he's
Kevin,
like,
did
"Oh
you
my
partake?"
God." Yeah.
I think I had like
Hell yeah.
probably like 2 grams, and I almost fell over. So it was like 2 milligrams.
Kevin
almost
would
fell
not
over.
mix that with skiing.
No,
Don't
no,
edible and
no.
ski.
I can't even mix it with walking generally.
for legal
Don't
reasons.
edible and walk. I edible if I'm laying in
like a
bed.
small
basically.
edible and walking. It was not
Don't edible and walk.
The whiskey's much more my speed. So
Yeah.
Kevin didn't partake. He's joking.
I
No, Kevin
did
did
a little
not.
bit.
Yeah, he
And
did.
It
No,
was,
he didn't.
it was not. Good.
Kevin's like the sleeper gummy guy.
Yeah, it's not good. It's just not a good thing for me.
But like, if I drank what Kevin's drinking there, I would be crippled. So like, see, we all have our things, right?
That's right.
Everyone has their vices.
I could munch on edibles all day long, but if I drank that drink Kevin's drinking, I would be throwing up. So
That's a profile picture too, Kevin.
You think?
that's a good
I
profile
think
pic.
you look a little like a young Kevin Costner.
I like it, Kevin.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's go.
I was
All
going
right.
to go Harry Connick Jr.
Ooh,
That used to happen to me all
That's
the time,
nice.
Joe.
Really?
Yeah, when I was
Really?
younger, but not anymore.
Dude, you should learn how to sing.
I wish I could, right? And play piano really well.
And act.
I like
You
it
could have a
for
whole
Kevin's
career.
profile pic. I like it.
All right, we
Okay.
each got our profile pic.
Use that for
Yeah.
your Tinder bio.
Hey, do me a
Kevin.
favor. You see the one where we're sitting in the snow? Could you do that one?
sitting
Done.
in the snow.
Yeah, there's
Maybe
one.
they
where-
didn't make it.
Hold
Well,
on, hold on. It's
on
not
the,
over
it's on the
yet.
script.
Oh, it is? Okay,
It's on the
good.
script.
Tom, talk about. Oh,
Oh
there you
yeah,
go.
look at that.
Okay, so like I have this thing when I'm skiing now, and I forced them this time. I literally was like, "Fuck you guys, we're going into the goddamn trees and we're having a picnic, right?" So I forced these guys, and they were like pissy with me because they're like, "We want to go down and go and stand in line for
Look how
$20
happy Tom
cheeseburgers."
is.
I was so happy. I forced these guys. We stopped in the middle of a run and we sat there for like 20 minutes and had lunch in the trees.
And you can just like a big thing, at least when we ski, is bring your lunch on the slope, so you don't have to pay like literally. It's like $22 for a chicken sandwich or
Right.
something.
$15 for fries.
Yeah, it's no joke.
That's a flex.
Those are real
Yeah,
prices,
that's
right?
not Tom McDermott exaggeration.
So we pack, as you can see, Deuce in the background, Ziploc bag. We usually have peanut butter and jelly and some oranges there.
seriously,
So
we were like, it was like we lived on peanut butter and jelly and oranges for
Yeah.
like 3 days.
it was great.
It
And
was
that-
like just eating peanut butter jelly sandwich after peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
so you could see that's actually a run in the background, and we just kind of pulled over into the trees and ate. It was great.
That's a great
Did
shot.
you guys make snow angels?
We did
No.
not. No, my
No.
butt was cold there, so we had to get eat quick and go.
Were you high there, Tom?
Oh yeah,
When wasn't he
How
high?
can you tell?
like I'm in California. Like
Yeah.
Look at all the hair
it's
you
legal,
have.
Hoosiers. It's legal there.
We should talk about that because obviously you have your hair there, and
I
you
do.
do not
Right.
have your hair
It was
here.
gone shortly
So
after
let's
that trip.
let's talk about that because that was a really we
Did
talked
we,
a
did
little
we
bit
cover?
before.
Did we cover? We got. We were sort of skipping ahead.
Oh, I'm
but,
sorry.
like,
I'm sorry. Wait, tell a little bit more about that trip because you had a cool first
did.
part of this trip before I got into.
Other than
Tahoe.
having the norovirus, I didn't realize I had the norovirus, and I went on that trip. But I had the
way.
norovirus for like the first. I had a whole part of the trip where I was alone, and I was like doing like family stuff. I took my mom to the baseball game. How nice! The Cubs played the A's in Sacramento. Sacramento is real close to Heavenly Valley, so I planned this whole trip. I'm like, Kevin and Deuce and Bobby Lundy are going to come in. We're going to go skiing, but that's on the back end. But on the front end, I'm going to go to check out the Cubs.
By the way, like so, as if you're not a baseball fan, you might not know this, but the Oakland A's are moving to Vegas. So but their stadium's not ready for the next 3 years, maybe 4. They're going to be in Sacramento playing at a stadium that only seats 13,000 people.
Yeah.
It's a AAA stadium.
Yeah.
So Tom got to go see the Cubs with his mom and family in Sacramento.
Yeah, so I did. Uncle Jim and I went to a game, and then I took my mom and her friends. We
You
had
got a
good
really
time.
badass Ricky Henderson. By the way,
Yeah, Ricky Henderson
so
jersey.
Tom got
Not
this
jersey.
really Ricky Henderson T-shirt, and it was getting so many
Yeah,
compliments
totally.
when we were in Tahoe.
Yeah, one guy asked me if it was a rapper. I'm like, it's Ricky Henderson, dude. Like,
Oh, Jesus.
he had an A's hat on. The guy's like, which
Christ.
rapper is that? I'm like, it's Ricky Henderson.
But we were in
He's
the
a Hall
gas
of
station.
Famer.
They're like, "Where'd you get that Ricky Henderson
I know,
shirt?"
I know.
That's cool.
So like I was not feeling well when I was in Sacramento, which is a cool city, by the way. I hung out there for 2 days, like just palling around.
Side note: on the way back, we went to Sacramento,
Yeah.
and I got to see I really wanted to see the state capitol. Number one, gorgeous building. If you've ever been there. Number
course you
two,
did.
yeah. Number two,
Did you
in
whip
the
out
back,
your
Had a meeting with
Constitution
Gavin.
book, too?
in the
Hey guys,
in the back, the gardens of the state capitol
Yes.
are unbelievable. It's like got not
A
every
tree
tree,
from like countries, like they had like redwoods in there, all different kinds of trees from California.
Yeah, it's
Super
really
cool.
cool.
Like redwoods. And so anyway, going back, I was not feeling well, and I was by myself, and I was not missing the Cubs game, and I was definitely doing the I was being a good nephew with my uncle, who I don't get to see very much, and then my mom. I'm not going to miss that game, regardless of how I'm feeling. So my mom and I are sitting there in the game, and she could tell I was sick, and she appreciated it. I took her and her friends out, and I was like, Mom, I'm going to a bath after this. I'm going to like an urban bath. There was this urban bath I checked out, and it was like it had like
Excuse me?
super hot.
hold on, back up.
No, it's not
What's
like
an
what you
urban
guys-
Wait,
bath?
wait, wait,
It
whoa,
sounds like
whoa, whoa.
sewers. Here.
No, urban
Soup
bath
kitchen?
was like this thing was called not a soup kitchen. This thing was called like an
What is
urban
this code
bath.
name for?
No, it's not like nothing like pre-AIDS anything like that. This was like like a bathhouse. There was bathhouses back in the day, and that helped spread the AIDS epidemic when it first started. This is not one of them places.
This
is-
took a
Are you talking about Rome?
This went
No,
off.
this is
the
no. I'm
rails.
just
we go.
saying. So I go into
Tom's
this
very well
bathhouse
versed in
'cause I'm-
bathhouses and AIDS.
No, I'm not very well versed in
There's your
bathhouses,
title.
but I'm not really well versed in norovirus
I mean,
either.
like, if we just if we didn't say anything and we just said, let Tom go. So then I went to an urban bath and
I
just
did.
let it go.
I went to an urban
I mean,
bath
How do we let that go?
because I wanted to bathe in an urban environment, and I wasn't feeling well. So I went in, and they have this super hot steam room.
John's dead.
That's the name of the
He's
episode.
dead.
What's
so
that?
I went to an urban bath.
Oh, urban bath and AIDS.
But like something happened to me. It changed my life a little bit.
All right.
Okay, so like I
Did
was
you
in
get
there.
AIDS?
No, that would
Thank
change my
God.
life. So
That's
we're
not
in the
even
main
funny.
bath part, and there was a whole bunch of people just sort of chit chatting. I was chit chatting. You know me, I'm being like nice because nobody knows me there, so I could be just a regular person, which is nice. So I'm like sitting there talking, and then this lady was asking me questions, and then I said something, and she said, "That's because you're a cis male." And
for
she was
fuck's
being
sake.
nice about it. She wasn't being a dick about it or anything, but that's because you're a cis male. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Welcome
And
to
she goes, you're a
California.
cis male. And I'm like, what does that mean? And she
Yeah.
said, that means you're normal. You're a normal person. I'm like, why don't you just say that? You have to say I'm like a cis male, right? I don't know what that means.
See how
Have you ever
crazy
been
the
called
country's
that?
Got never.
What the fuck is that?
I would
Like, I'm a cis male. I'm like, what? I'm 56 years old. I've never heard that about myself. Like,
I'm not a sissy.
I'm like, yeah, I am no sissy.
Wait. This is an urban bath. What are you implying?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that place was cool though.
Paint
Honestly.
the picture,
We
though,
don't have-
Tom.
Yeah, paint
They
the
have
picture
like
of an
so you
urban
go into
bath.
this place. They have like one big hot tub where everybody can congregate. I was there in the middle of the day, so there's only like 5, 6, 7 people there, right? And then they have like different rooms you can go to. Like one room is like a steam room, and it's hot as sin in there. And they got like eucalyptus. They have another room that's just a regular old sauna. They have like another like saltwater bath, and then of course they have the chill bath, the ice bath. They have all this, and you just sort of just pop around and do whatever you want. I did that for like an hour and a half.
Did you do the ice bath?
No, I did not because I don't like that. It's supposed to be good for you. I just don't like it. I put my legs in and it was freaking freezing, man. So I said, fuck that. And I moved on.
Sounds like an ice bath.
Yeah, but I'm a cis male. I learned that day. Which
Congratulations.
means I'm normal. I'm just a regular
Whoa.
old
Good for
dude.
you.
A regular old dude. Regular old Hoosier American. So anyway. I raised $22,000 for Isabella.
Well, that's what
That
I was talking
nice.
about. Look at your hair.
I know.
We got a couple
This is
photos
2
of
weeks
this.
later,
This
by
is
the way.
great, actually.
2 weeks later.
If you recall from season 14 at the end, we were trying to help Tom raise, I should say, $15,000 for Isabella, who is dealing with cancer and leukemia, second grader. And not only did we get to cut Tom's hair, Isabella got to cut Tom's hair, but I think you raised how much, Tom?
22
$22,000 for the family.
What a sweet little girl, man. God.
By the way, what a great
one hurt me.
barber.
I was gonna say you have a
where'd you get
custom
that?
barber thing now.
I know, right?
Cape? What
Mayor
is that
Tom Cape.
I forgot I got that. I
It's
got
really
that, and I
cool.
got professional clippers too.
called?
But
Oh.
they were battery powered, so she was using the old fashioned clippers. She's a little doll. And so Isabella is really shy. So like when I first met her, and I was like, she was very shy. She wouldn't even hardly look at me. She was just very shy the whole time. And then you could tell by the end she was totally warming up to me.
She liked Mayor Tom.
She was a sweetie, man. She is a sweetie. And by the way, it seems like recently I've seen a lot of the kids I've shaved my head for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I saw Max yesterday. I shaved my head for him. When Isabella came in, her cousin, I think it is, I shaved my head for her. Allie Gleason, I shaved my head for her last year. I haven't seen them recently, but I saw her husband,
Yeah.
Craig, the other day. So it seems like recently a lot of the people I've shaved my head for have been coming
And
by to say hi.
Her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's her. That's her, John. Yeah. I shaved my head for. No, that's the mom. That's Isabella's mom. It's like her niece,
Niece
I
or
believe,
something,
who
yeah.
was also present. I shaved my
Right,
head for her.
right.
I thought
Yeah.
the other cool thing was her second grade class came
Yeah,
to
her
kind
whole
of
class,
support, which
It
is
was
really
super
cool. And the
There's
teachers
been
were there. It was really nice.
a lot of kids in my office lately.
Well, let's bring your kids to work day yesterday. so
But
that had to
then
be packed.
Isabella's second grade class was 2 weeks ago. My office is great with little kids. I
That's
love
why you
it.
got
do a
sick.
great job.
Probably.
Could
That's
be.
why you got
Yeah,
the
that was
Nice.
after. That was after
Yeah.
I got back
You're
from
gonna
California.
get sick then.
Oh yeah. No, I brought in MJ. MJ is my new classroom. So I brought him
Kids
in.
love him.
Oh yeah, they squeeze on him though. He's like, I brought him home yesterday. He went right to bed, man. He's like, also, but Kevin, this was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I got invited to be the keynote speaker. To
Oh, this
the
was awesome.
Allen County Democrats. So keynote, like I had to give a 25-minute speech, and
To a packed crowd, by the way. It
500?
was 500 plus. It was sold out. Look at this. Got right in front of the Grand Wayne Center. There he is, Mayor Tom.
I know, that's cool, isn't it?
And by the way, the Grand Wayne is a really cool. That's downtown Fort Wayne. Really,
it's at Allen
really
County's
nice.
Convention Center.
It is,
for the record. It's it's in downtown Fort Wayne, which has 200. I think Fort Wayne's 230,000 people live in Fort Wayne.
Number 2 city.
Downtown Fort Wayne has a variety of multiple restaurants, bike paths,
bars,
like bar infrastructure, everything you need to have for a convention center right there in downtown Fort Wayne. And I'm not sure if Allen County's Convention Center does well financially or not, but it's certainly extremely nice.
Yeah, and by the way, that was the first. It was interesting. There's just a one shot I took of the crowd, but it was packed. I mean, that's just like the front half. There's a back half too, and it was the first time they had done this. They do this every year. It was the first time since Mayor Henry passed away and his wife.
Yeah.
And I know you guys were fellow Democratic mayors in the state. They had a nice dedication for him. And then Tom spoke. Really, it was a really. He came after the speech. He came over to the table. It was like he just got done with like a half of football or something.
I was sweating.
Yeah, it was. It was
well,
a good
they
speech.
have those
Good
lights
job,
on.
by the way.
They have those lights. And this is one I've never used teleprompter before. By the way, they had teleprompters on the ground, and it was weird. I've never used them before, so that took some getting used to for me. Because whoever was controlling the speech on the teleprompter, I was sort of freelancing. But I had see, the way I give speeches, I know how I do it, right? I'll look at a list and I'll just freelance, and then I'll look back at the list and then I'll freelance. But that's like the backbone of my speech. And in this case, the dude that was in charge of my speech had no fucking clue where I was going. So he was just sort of like scrolling through the speech, and I'm up there like, go, go.
I think it's one of those things where he was expecting Tom to read the whole speech, and that's not Tom, right? So he was like, shit, where is Tom? Is he before?
I was
after?
all over the place.
Where
You
should
can
I
literally
go?
see him like going through the speech on the teleprompter, like, I don't know where you want to go.
And he's like, I don't know where you want to go.
That poor guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that poor guy. I was the one standing in front of 500 people. I was like, I have no idea where you're going on my speech, man.
That's good.
By the way, Mayor Josh is in chat in our green room.
Nice.
So he's
Mayor Josh. He's right over there.
yeah, he said this green room is
Right
top
there.
notch.
It is
Thank
top
you.
notch.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He'll be here soon.
Yeah. So, hey, why don't we let's do some ads.
Yeah.
Come back. We'll do mailbag.
Yes, we have mailbag.
I got a
Get those lips
former
ready, John.
guest, a former guest that was on this show. Him and his wife got robbed in front of their house. And
It's all
a
over. And
horrible
it's all
story.
over Chicago news.
It's a horrible story, but we're gonna do it. This guy was a guest on LOCPod. I know him very well. We're gonna do that story next after we do our mailbag. By the way, the next mailbag, I've never previewed a mailbag. This one hit me hard. It's from Peter Kaifas, who runs Avalon Manor.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. This is an interesting perspective on the convention center debate. So we're going to do that mailbag when we come back. But first, we're going to hit some sponsors. Again, LOCPod is not possible without them. So thank them. When you see them, tell them to keep on keeping on. You know
And
what I'm
thank you
saying?
to all our sponsors that renew. I mean, it's really, really awesome that they're back. We get a lot of repeats.
The ones that didn't renew, beat them up. Like tell them you noticed, you know?
Boycott their business.
Yeah, like once you join LOCPod, you can't get out.
It's really hard to get out. But no, actually, thanks, Steve, again. Steve, our business manager, did a great job getting our sponsors. So thank you, Steve.
Power in Indiana, Lake County, our premier and studio sponsor. Power in Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's most trusted electricians. At Power in Indiana, Lake County, we set the standard for excellence in electrical work. As IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors, we ensure safety, reliability, and quality for Northwest Indiana corporations, businesses, and homes alike. But our mission goes beyond the job site. We're creating a brighter future for the region we proudly serve. Power in Indiana, Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community. Find the right electrical contractor at powerindiana.org.
Prestmer Insurance Agency. For decades, the Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been located right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. The Prestmer Agency specializes in a wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Prestmer Agency serves thousands of people and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
Calumet Brewing, Michelob Ultra, the official sponsor of the PGA, is a superior light beer with an ultra smooth taste. This refreshingly wow, he totally rewrote this. I'm very thrown off.
Yep, fake you out.
This refreshingly crisp
You
light
think
lager.
he rewrote it?
No, this is a Kevin thing.
No.
It's a chat GPT.
I was gonna say that.
Yep.
Yep.
This refreshingly crisp light lager has only 95 calories and 2.6 carbs, making it the perfect beer on the golf course or at the 19th hole. Check out the new Ultra Zero with only 29 calories, making it the perfect zero alcohol beer for any time of the day. Head over to the Cal Brew or Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for more information on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Michelob Ultra lifestyle with beers, and cheers responsibly.
Byway Brewing. Hey, by the way, you know, at the end of the sometime during season 15, we're doing an on-location episode at Byway Brewing. So
Hopefully
we're
for
working out
breakfast.
the details. We're working on it, trying to get those crack waffles, those really good waffles that are like crack.
I've never had breakfast
They're,
there.
that's what they should call them. They're crack waffles.
They are unbelievable.
They're you can only
can't eat just
you
one.
eat one and then you
Yep.
eat like 14 of
Yep.
them. Yeah. Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and an outdoor patio, serving its award-winning craft beer, a chef-driven food menu, and craft cocktails on draft. Their brewing equipment and production facilities offer a unique backdrop for events like bridal showers, reunions, or corporate parties. With their new food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private events off-site. Just off 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit, find out why customer service is Byway's top priority. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Kuklakis Law. Are you facing legal challenges and don't know where to turn? Look no further than Kuklakis Law, your trusted source for legal advice in Indiana and Illinois. Do you need representation buying or selling real estate? Call Kuklakis Law. Need help forming a business? Call Kuklakis Law. Did you get injured in a car crash or at your job? Call Kuklakis Law. No matter what your legal issue, call 219-671-6347 for a free consultation. Who are you going to call? Kuklakis. Hablamos Español.
Rogers Roofing. When you want the best for your home and family, trust the best in the business. Rogers Roofing. Rogers Roofing has transformed homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland for more than 55 years, providing quality roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the best warranties in the industry. To learn more and to schedule your free consultation, visit rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 today. That's rogersroofing.com or 933-9145. And remember, at Rogers Roofing, excellence is expected every time.
Real quick on Rogers, I know we got to keep moving here, but I did want to mention I saw John Rogers last week. He was in the office. I had a trust that I'm helping with a home, and he got on the roof, got it done. He came in. It was so easy. Everything signed here in the office. He came right to me, signed it, getting some work for Rogers Roofing. I would absolutely encourage you to use them.
I try to use our sponsors
Yeah.
every opportunity possible. So
Thank you, Rogers Roofing.
Thanks to everyone watching on X and YouTube as well.
how we doing?
Good crowd over there.
Nice.
Everybody always gives us love on our first episode back,
Yeah.
and then they ignore us.
You're like, man,
We only got 23 more to go, everybody. Then season 16.
It's all
Tom's
downhill
hair will be
from
long
here.
by then.
Hey, I want to start off and say happy birthday to Kevin Smith
Oh,
tomorrow.
thanks, Mayor.
56 years old tomorrow. He looks good.
Catching up to you.
For an old guy.
I'm
Yeah.
catching right up to
Kevin.
Mayor Tom.
I gave him the coolest birthday gift this year. I'm very
It was a
happy.
really good Grateful Dead hoodie. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
It's
wore
like
it last
a light,
night.
one of those light hoodies, like that you can wear outside in the sun. It's really cool.
Thank you. I wore it last night. It was great.
I also want to say happy birthday to Pete Novak,
Today.
former guest on the show. It's today's birthday. Pete Novak, love you, kid. And Nicole Sullivan. I don't think Nicole's appeared on the
Sunday.
show, but she's a fan. And we love Nicole. I've known Nicole about 30 years, so happy birthday, Nicole. So anyway, birthdays.
What do we got?
Let's do some mailbag.
John.
Mailbag.
Yeah, man, that was a good one.
Very good.
All right. Dear Mayor
Fresh.
McDermott, this is Peter Kaifas, by the way. Avalon Manor. Avalon Manor is it's a private convention center, right?
Banquet facility.
It's a
Banquet
banquet
hall.
facility, but like it serves as a convention center, and it's private on the tax rolls. He uses his own money to fund it, and he finds it unfair, I imagine, that we're going to blast his business out of the water by building a $250 million publicly financed convention center.
So how do you get, like, I just want people to understand, you aren't asking for mailbag. These are literally things that come to you.
me.
Like, you're not,
Yes.
right? I mean, these are things, because you get a lot at your office. I
Oh,
know
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
And you just pick
No,
this one out.
I pulled this one out
Yeah.
because it's great for our show, and it's a well written, and it's an interesting point that I think we got to keep in mind is we all know Peter. We know Peter's family at Avalon, and we're about to put them out of business by opening up the Lake County Convention Center. It's publicly financed. I mean, these are things that we have to consider before we blast Avalon Manor out of the water. But anyway, this is the letter. Dear Mayor McDermott, I hope all is well. I'm writing to you regarding the proposed Lake County Convention Center. It concerns me for obvious reasons, especially if it ends up down the street. The Hard Rock location concerns me also. As a small business owner and probably the most well-known event facility for corporate events in Lake County, I worry that this convention center would at best take several of my corporate and nonprofit events and at worst put me out of business. The fact that Lake County is saturated with banquet halls and event facilities, Halls of St. George, Villa Cesar, County Line Orchard, Chateau Banquets, Signature Banquets, Dynasty Banquets, the list goes on and on. Also include Journeyman Distillery and Duneland Falls in Porter County. There's no shortage of places to choose from in these two counties that have a population of under 700,000 people. Avalon Manor has a solid business, but not enough to withstand a drop in sales of more than 10 to 15%. Blue Chip Casino has taken larger corporate events that would most likely be at Avalon Manor. I do not need to look at a feasibility study to tell you that the market is already saturated. The Caiaphas family has been in the hospitality business in Lake County since the late 1960s. The Caiaphas family, starting with my father Nick, have developed a reputation for great food and service in Lake County. We have paid millions in taxes to the county and millions in taxes to the state of Indiana. We have worked very hard to get where we are, and I'm sure you would agree. Northwest Indiana would lose a long-standing legacy and a great part of the community if Avalon Manor would be forced to close down. Finally, I would like to thank you for your outspoken opposition to the convention center. Yours truly, Peter Caiaphas.
Interesting letter.
Wow.
Like you don't really. That's an interesting take because like I think all this discussion is really about where's it going to go or if it's going to go, and not like does it impact private industry
and all the ones he mentioned. Like we have one right here in Hammond, Dynasty Banquets, privately funded. A family runs it. Villa Cesar, Halls of St. George, all these halls that are on the tax rolls, publicly funded, we're going to put them out of business with this casino expansion that's being proposed. So anyway, hey, we got Mayor Josh coming in next segment. We're going to do a small little segment here, and then we're going to go out and pull in Mayor Josh. He should be in here in probably the next 10 minutes or so.
Yep, I let him know 8:15.
Okay. This is a crazy story. You might have seen this Ring camera footage. Do you want to start off? So this is a couple that just got done going out to dinner in Chicago. I already indicated I know this couple very well. They live in Glenview, very ritzy northern suburb, in a subdivision called the Glen, which is ultra high end.
It's nice.
My friend Greg and Angie, she's a famous doctor. My friend Greg and her are doing very well. Okay. They live in a very nice neighborhood. They were followed home by gangsters from Chicago. And as soon as they pulled into their driveway and got out of their car, they were held at gunpoint in this ritzy part of Chicago. And basically, they were robbed right on their doorstep.
And just to give you some background, right? You might remember Greg, if you listen to LOCPod, a couple things. Greg was in the Navy with Tom. He's on the same submarine.
Yeah, we had him on to talk about his hurricane.
We had him on to talk about. We had him on actually on Skype from Tampa, in his house in Tampa, talking about what's going on with the hurricane.
Yeah.
And so you've seen Greg on LOCPod, and this is Greg, Tom's buddy from the Navy.
Kevin, everybody in City Hall knows this guy very well. Him and I hang out fairly frequently. So this is them getting robbed in their doorstep.
Plot of a movie. A couple in the suburbs north of Chicago was getting home from their date night when they walked right into an armed robbery. Their doorbell camera shows the moment three masked men confronted them. They didn't think anything of an unfamiliar vehicle outside their home, and then things took a turn for the worse.
It's probably one of our kids or their friends. And then all of a sudden there's a gun pointed at you times three. Three guys jump out and start screaming at us to drop everything we have.
Take everything. Take everything. You can have it. Honest to God, guys. I kept repeating that very intentionally so that they knew they were going to get what they came for.
And then go on.
Hopefully leave.
And they did. They left with cash, jewelry, a watch, even a jacket. The stolen SUV they were driving was found unoccupied in Chicago.
Wow.
Angie threw a shoe at him.
I thought that was her purse.
I like how
That was
she
her
stepped
shoe.
in front of her husband because the women, we take care of shit.
Yeah. The thing that we don't know is in the house were Greg's little kids.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
he was scared to death that they were going to get into the house. So Angie is a famous surgeon. Oh, excuse me. A
geneticist,
famous,
right?
Yeah, geneticist. She's a fertility doctor. When I say famous, she's one of the top fertility doctors in the country. She appeared on Oprah. She has fertility clinics across the United States of America, and she's the featured doctor. So, like, her and Greg are a power couple in the northern suburbs, and for them to be robbed in front of their house in that location It was shocking. So shocking. It was on Fox News. It was all over the Chicago media. Yeah. And this is like one of my best friends from the Navy. Wow. It's crazy.
And a LOCPod guest.
So it's not a gated subdivision?
No, it's not. But it's one of those where you feel like it is. Mm-hmm. You're in there. It's just like tight streets, big mansions, beautiful. Everybody there is doctors, lawyers. Everybody's like wealthy. Everybody.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad to hear that they're safe.
You're not safe anywhere. And they've determined that they were followed home because Greg's got a nice car. Okay. And they were in Chicago on the Gold Coast. They were eating. Obviously, they had a trailer, and they literally followed him all the way home. And Greg's that's a 45-minute drive. So they literally trailed him all the way home, just knowing that they had a nice car and they imagined they'd probably have nicer things back home. And they got him.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Scary.
Makes you like, because, you know, I was talking to Greg yesterday, and he was going crazy reading the comments. I'm like, dude, take it from a politician. Don't read the comments.
Don't read the comments,
like,
right?
Turn that shit off, man. You don't want to hear that because they're saying stuff like, sort of what Jill said, like, hey, man, why didn't you step up, or why didn't you do this? And he's like, Tom, my kids were in the house. I was like, dude, I know what you
don't
know?
Read the comments, Greg.
Don't read the comments. Turn it off, because Greg, you know, I think he's like going through some post-traumatic stress.
Oh, for sure.
Stuff, you know,
for sure.
Like, and then to go through a jarring subject like that, be on the news all the next day, and then to have people beating the shit out of you, you know, because
that's what happens.
You didn't, because they're like, if that happened, I would have fucking
keyboard
warriors. I would have kicked him in the fucking face, and then I would have beat the other guy down, and you know, it's
man.
like,
No, you
right. But that's what Greg's getting right now. He's getting people coming back at him like that. It's like,
I mean,
keyboard warriors.
Yes,
I tell you what, if you can come at it, like, think about Greg and Angie. Whatever was in their pockets that they lost that day can be replaced a million times over by that couple. So, like, they walked away from a jarring, traumatic situation that was very dangerous, and they walked away unharmed.
And their kids unharmed, which is family unharmed.
That's right. They won. Thank God.
Yeah, I think that's good. And by the way, what Greg did, I think, is good advice to anybody. I mean, I tell my kids, like, if anybody ever wants your car, let them take it.
Keep calm.
Yep.
No problem.
Keep calm and
no problem, man.
Get out of it.
You could have my Shelby.
Take it. Wow, I can?
Yeah.
All I need to do is pull a gun on you.
You know what?
You'll
honestly,
be like, Kevin, put the gun down. You're not getting my Shelby.
You would be, if you had a gun, you'd be more nervous than me pointing it at me. So
Kevin, it's pointed the wrong way.
Let
me show you how to hold it.
Go ahead, shoot. You're going to kill yourself.
Like, oh, no. Yeah, if they stole my Shelby, they'd have to figure out how to drive a manual transmission. So I'm safe like that.
You think, you'd be laughing at him.
None of the young kids know how
on the way.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, no, don't do that.
All right, how about this? We do some ads. I'm going to go get the guests.
Yes.
And we'll come back with Hobart's amazingly great, amazingly handsome young mayor.
He'll remind you of that.
And young mayor especially. He reminds us of that. Josh Huddlestun, who's got a lot to say about a lot of different subjects, but I know he's very, very much concerned about what's going on with the convention center. So I'm going to read off MCR Partners, and I'm going to go get them. Because MCR Partners is your one-stop destination for top-notch expertise in economic development, finance, and planning. With a dedicated team geared up to tackle your projects head-on, they're your go-to comprehensive solution providers. Dive into the world of economic development with MCR Partners and let them guide you through the maze of opportunities. Stay in the loop and connected by hitting up their website at mcrpartnersllc.com for tailored assistance. Don't hesitate to reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia. ¡Yeah! De todo corazón.
Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltensberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing always on time within budget. Conveniently located in Munster and Hammond, Misprint is your partner for creating impactful visual solutions that leave a lasting impression. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today.
Cantrell & Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give Cantrell & Cantrell a call and schedule a consultation with someone who is in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and Kristen make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
The Bug Guys The Bug Guys Pest Control. Firefighter owned and operated. The Bug Guys specialize in keeping your home pest-free. Call today and schedule your spring treatment. Free estimates and never any contracts. Single treatments or monthly specials available. Call Brian and Craig, the Bug Guys, today to see how they can help you kick off your spring pest free. Kick off your spring pest free. 219-810-7481 or on Facebook at the Bug Guys Pest Control. Guys.
I already had them out.
Were they plural before?
No.
It was the Bug Guy. No, it's the Bug Guys.
They're growing.
They are?
They're growing. They're getting
They're
bigger.
firefighter owned. Two firefighters.
They're awesome. They already had them out at the house. So
Brian and Craig. Thank you, guys. The Bug Guys. Hey, Mayor Josh, what's up?
Mayor.
Well, I'm happy to be back.
I don't think we've ever had a guest on a season premiere before, have we?
No. You're the first one.
First?
First
Yeah,
one.
man.
That's
Yeah, but
a lot of pressure there.
By the way, you look great, and I look like shit. I came to that real quick conclusion when I walked out because I was still reading.
I was just going to tell him that he looks good.
I'm growing and I look like shit. And then Josh comes walking in all clean shaven.
I mean, you could say it now, Mayor Josh. You know, you're young.
Yeah, he's
It's
like
the difference
remind
of
him.
20 years,
like
right?
2.0. 2.0.
Right? 2.0. Come on.
Josh 2.0.
How you doing, Mayor?
Hey,
I'm
man.
happy to be here.
Thanks
man.
for coming
good,
back.
dude.
Yeah, this is awesome.
2.0 is a better version, right?
That's right. 2.0.
Yeah.
Or at least the second, right?
Get out the kinks.
sequel. Get out the kinks.
Yeah, the first version's all jacked up. It's got like
What version
pop-up
is this of
windows.
you?
I'm 1.0.
56.0?
Yeah, like,
Hey, one of my favorite quotes is "Learn from the mistakes of others because you can't make them all yourself."
man.
Look at
Right?
him. Look at him.
Dude,
roll
I made
those
it- I
things
made
off
all
his
kinds.
lips.
how you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Life is good.
So you've been mayor now for a year and a half.
A year, 4 months,
Look at him.
5 days, 8
So,
hours.
and you were a councilman for how long before that?
2 terms, 8 years.
So nice. You're about to vest on your pension. Look at that.
There you go.
See how
There
these
you
mayors
go.
think?
See?
That's
Yeah,
how.
exactly.
I mean, you get at 10 years, you guarantee yourself a pension.
There
so.
you go.
Time
And
to
you're
start
still
running
going
for a
after
bunch of
22.
stuff.
Yeah, right. Josh can run for other things.
Just
Nah,
perpetual
man.
runner.
Mayor,
You know
how's-
what? Honestly, the thing about being mayor at such a young age, I could identify, is it's a pinnacle type of office. There's people that go their whole life trying to become mayor, and you were 34 years old, 33 years old, and you became mayor. That's
Well, like one of the things I just saw Mayor Brian in the chat, and he's like,
Yeah.
like I know you guys were close, and he was a great mayor.
Yeah.
So like an opportunity opened up, and you took advantage.
But what do you think about that, though? I mean, you hit a pinnacle type of office, and you're 33.
I'm having fun. I mean, I think, I'm born and raised in Hobart, so for me, it's a little different. Like, I don't know that I could be the mayor anywhere else. Like, I don't know that I would bring that same tenacity and same passion every day that I bring. But
So hold it. Like if somebody hired you, okay, so you're going to be mayor. Let's just say you're mayor 20 years. Okay, I'm just going to say you could be mayor longer than that easily, or you could be mayor shorter than that easily. Let's just say Josh is mayor 20 years, and at 53, he's like, you know what? I've learned so much, and I'm an expert. And then somebody wants to hire you as town manager. You can't tell me you wouldn't be excellent at that job. I know you would be.
I think I would, but I don't know, like, the passion right now that I have
Right.
for
Your
the
hometown.
community. Yeah, it's different.
Like, you know the streets.
Knew the streets, knew the people, like the difficult conversations. Like, these are people that have been, I've ate dinner at their house because, like, I went to school with their kids. So, I mean, I don't know that I could. I mean, right now, I'm enjoying it, so I'm going to take advantage of that. And
I think you're doing a good job.
I appreciate that.
I think Lake County's got great mayors. I really do. Like, we've always had great mayors, but it seems like this batch of mayors is really just top notch. Obviously, I count you in that batch very highly, Josh, because, I mean, and you're in the middle of a big fight right now, trying to land a convention center for your city that could be worth a couple $100 million and a lot of jobs and, a lot of future development, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, this is kind of something that kind of came in, as I walked in the office. I mean, it was kind of coming through the legislation, and then obviously, the study came out, and like, I mean, I'm glad that you've spoke up and been in opposition of it, which is fair, right? Like, that's your job, that's your opinion. Obviously we differ a little bit in that, but
Of course.
the thing is I would have never gone out. To your point, I would have never gone out for this convention center if we weren't the number one site. Like, it's going to
Hobart was the number one site.
and it wasn't by a small margin, a large margin. Some consultants that got no skin in the game.
So you
that are
think
just-
it's a no-brainer if it's built, it should be Hobart?
I think that it's a no-brainer.
I'll be honest with you. If it's going to succeed, I think Hobart, it gives it the best chance to succeed. And one of the things I do like about your proposal, Josh, is the mall. I think because I look at South Lake and I see a dying mall. No offense. I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody. I just want to, this is just Tom.
Well, malls in America are
Right.
dying,
Yeah. But it seems like ours in particular is heading in the wrong direction. And it's been that way a long time. It has nothing to do with Mayor Josh or even Mayor Brian. It has a lot more to do with Amazon and stuff like that.
Yep.
But like, if our mall gets rejuvenated by a convention center being in close proximity to it, I think that's something that should be talked about in the region, because I think that we all know that mall is suffering right now. And if Josh could sit here and say, you build it in Hobart, a lot of more business is going to go to that mall, and I think that's good for everybody in the region. I think that rings true, man.
I mean, that's why I said it. That's the only reason why we went out on it. To your point, it's going to be difficult, right? It's going to be hard to make it work, and putting it at the second, third, fourth, fifth site even makes it even more challenging, right? So why wouldn't you put it at the number one site? And I mean, to be fair, everyone's talking about, this new shiny thing that came in, and I like the Hard Rock. It's well run. Those guys over there do a great job. That's fair. That's fair. I like the Hard Rock. I think their team is good over there. But the mall's been here since 1970. Like, why are we turning our backs on something that literally was an economic engine for the entire region for so long?
Agree with you, Josh. The mall, I think far more people use the mall than use Hard Rock Casino. Far more people use the mall than use all the casinos combined. The mall has been there since the 1970s, like you said. It's suffering right now, and it's not unique to Hobart. Right. Look at what's going on in Indianapolis right now. They're taking the Circle Mall in downtown and converting it to residential, because you got to figure out what to do with this space now. If we're not going to do something like the convention center in close proximity to South Lake, then what are we going to do for that mall? Because that's a big time question.
Malls are dying in America, right?
Agreed.
So, like, is the argument, Mayor Josh, that like if the convention center comes, that's somehow going to rejuvenate the mall just because of the traffic?
Well, I think it's a combination. So if you look at our entire proposal is all about the region, right? Like, it's kind of ironic how conversations change, because when this first went out, I was sitting at an LCA meeting out in at Innsbruck, and they were talking. The Lake County Economic Alliance did this presentation, and kind of the rhetoric was Hard Rock's competition is going to be Wind Creek that opens across the border. That was like kind of the conversation, how we help sustain that. And I was the one that's like, no, like, this is for the benefit of the region, and it should be. And now we're listening and we're hearing the other group that's competing against us is also saying this is a regional project. If it's a regional project, then we should put it in the center of the region, which is the 30 and I-65 corridor, and let it benefit the entire region. And so, I mean, for us, like, we see it as a regional project, and I mean, we're steadfast in that, and we're going to continue to scream that from the rooftops.
When you were on last time, I think in season 14, not too long ago, one of the things you talked about, and you just said it again, like, if it wasn't that we were ranked number one, we probably wouldn't have submitted. You also raised a concern that you had about, like, the infusion of cash that the local community has to put in every year. So since you were here last time, anything changed regarding that issue, or have you thought about that some more?
Yeah, so we look at, like, we've talked to our consultants.
$5 million a year, right?
$5 million a year, yeah, to match. So we talked to our consultants, and everyone we've talked to is like, this is the most bizarre project. Like, it doesn't even have success out of the gate. First of all, like, trying to unite the region as a whole, and like, we're pitting communities against each other, which I think is awful to begin with. Yeah. But secondly, like, these projects, when you're going out on a convention center, like, you're talking to all of the players, the county, the cities, the RDA, the South Shore, like, all those people should have a part in it. But the way that legislation's been set up is everyone's in their own silos and no one wants to talk. I mean, you have the CEO of the South Shore not taking a stance on one of the largest economic development projects that could set this community up for the future.
So we're talking about Phil. I think Phil's taking a stance. He says that he wants to see a convention center built in Lake County.
But I think what Mayor Josh is saying is he's not
taking a stance on where.
Like, he should be part of our team, and like, okay, how do we create this capital stack? Because for us,
we should ask Phil that. Phil comes on the show a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, like, this is something that we all should. The county should be, we should be talking to the commissioners, but they can't engage with us and be like, okay, we're going to commit X to your project, or we're going to work with this to do, because everyone, they can't be biased. They can't pick sides. So it's been the most unique situation ever. And so you have these communities, and to be fair, we don't have the bandwidth or the money to compete against the casino. Like, we just don't have it.
Of course, who does?
Casinos putting commercials on. I saw.
Yeah, they got commercials.
Like that.
It's ridiculous.
And Mayor, the one thing you said,
they're sending text messages. The casino's paying for all this. It's
I had no idea. Wow.
It's ridiculous. It's so sickening to me that the casino is trying to get the biggest jackpot they ever got, which is hundreds of millions of dollars in taxpayer money to help build their casino. It's ridiculous. Well, if Hammond Horseshoe came to the city government and said, "Hey, Hammond, we want to build a hotel. We want you to build it for us," I'd be like, "Are you crazy? You're a casino. We can't build your hotel for you. You freaking nuts. We're about to do this for Hard Rock, the most profitable casino in Indiana.
I think what Mayor Josh just said is interesting. He said, like, it's unfortunate that what this whole project has done is pit communities against each other when we're always trying to say, like, the region needs to work together.
Right.
I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, I've literally, so after we left the LCA meeting, I felt like I was in an episode of the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, go find your team and get on it. And I'm not knocking the Hard Rock. Like, the legislation's allowed them to do that. And it's allowed them to go out and do the things, and they want it, right? Like, obviously it's a benefit to them. So
they want it.
I'm not knocking them.
I mean, we're building an
that.
expansion for them. Like, why wouldn't they want the taxpayers to build their expansion? Like, that would be great. I'm sure Hammond Horseshoe would love it if the commissioners gave Hammond Horseshoe $200 million so they could build a hotel. I'm sure they would love that opportunity, but they're not given that opportunity. Only Hard Rock is given that opportunity.
When we talk about, like, you know, taxpayer dollars, like, what people aren't talking about is if that mall fails. I mean, the mall went through the largest tax appeal. So I think the Willis Tower, the Sears Tower at the time had like a $300 million tax appeal, and like their value dropped by $300 million. The South Lake Mall dropped by $170 million.
What did that do to your?
We had to pay $16 million, and they literally said, "Hey, we need to check tomorrow." Like, we don't have $16 million.
And then you had to get the state of Indiana to give you basically a special exemption, so they can go above the tax caps to help pay for this appeal.
And you're still paying it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, like, they're going to ask Josh on top of that. So they're strapped. Let's be honest. We all know it because we all saw it. State of Indiana knows it. And now Hobart's like, hey, you want this? Which, by the way, I think Hobart's the best location. Personally, I do. Okay. And then they're like, okay, Hobart, you're the best location. And you get the added pleasure of spending $5 million a year for something your residents aren't even going to use.
No. And here's the other thing, too. So while this South Lake Mall tax appeal is going on, we're fighting tooth and nail, and the legislation gives us an opportunity, gives us literally a golden ticket, right? Like, build this convention center. It'll help. I'm not going to say it's going to increase the values on the Route 30 corridor, but at least keep them stable, right? That's all I'm asking for. I just want stable.
Conventioneers have places to go at your location. I don't gamble, Josh. If I go to a convention center at the Hard Rock and I don't gamble, what do I do after hours? I can't do hardly anything. I have to get in my car and leave. Okay. What do I do if I'm in Hobart? I got restaurant options. I got bar options. I got a mall. I got all kinds of stuff I could do if I'm not a gambler.
Hey,
So,
Mayor,
go ahead, John. No, go ahead.
For those listening locally, is this right off 65? Like right off 30?
Yeah, it's right off of 30. So it's like, I don't know, maybe like a quarter
It's right
mile
by Costco.
south of or north of Route 30. Yep.
Just east of Costco, right?
Gotcha.
Yep, just east.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that whole kind of development, I mean, we're the city of Hobart's going out to put in, baseball fields. So for youth sports, and then, the developers bringing in, they have all kinds of entertainment aspects, some, like outdoor golf venue type deal, things that are slotted to go in there. So we're trying to create this organic destination, and we feel that the convention center just plops down right in the middle of that and gives convention center goers something to do.
Let's say you don't get the convention center. Are you still committed to doing that destination over there for your community, or how is that going to be on life support then?
I mean, we're still moving forward with that. I mean, obviously the convention center. I mean, let's talk dollars and cents here, right? Like, let's be real. So what I'm fighting against is Gary and the Hard Rock, and that's fair, and they're going after it because that's what the state legislation's allowed them to do. 8 million visitors in the 4 years went to the Hard Rock, right? That's what they claim. Zero economic development around it, right?
I drove around it the other day, and I was thinking, like, if I'm here and I want to go for a jog, where do you go? You don't.
The other thing is
there's nothing around the Hard Rock right now.
The convention, we both agree that the study says that there's going to be 100,000 annual visitors to convention center. So is 8.1 million people going to move the needle? No, it's really not. I mean, so what's 100,000 people in this convention center really going to do to that area? If 8 million didn't create development, 100,000 surely isn't. But 100,000 plus what we're doing on our site, like, that really can basically give the Route 30 corridor a shot in the arm. That's literally been one of the economic engines for the county. If we turn our
since I was a kid,
if we turn our backs on it and that mall goes vacant, those stores start going vacant, we're going to be talking about taxpayer dollars figuring out how Lake County is going to backfill our police, because we're going to have to lay people off. Like, that's the reality that what's to come. So we're the number one site, and I thought it was a no-brainer. Naive mayor, I'm like, oh, everyone's going to help us go land this. I was wrong.
You're in a fight, right?
I'm in a
For
fight.
sure.
Well, like
But-
you're in a fight with a casino that wants $200 million of taxpayer money. And they want it badly, man. So they're going to spend money. I just think it's perverse. We're talking about giving a lot of money to a casino that's doing extremely well. We're going to give money to a casino, taxpayer money to a casino. That's insane.
Mayor, what about Mayor Tom? What about? I know that you've taken a position also of like no convention center. Like, do we really need this?
I think if the convention center is built, if we're going to build this, like I was listening to Phil. I'm like, okay, Phil. I'm going to, let's say I believe
Phil Talon,
Phil
the head of
Talon, the
the
CEO of the Convention and Visitors Authority. Him and I had an hour-long conversation about this the other day, okay? And we were arguing, being honest. And then I was like, okay, Phil, taking your position. Phil's like, Tom, we just badly need a convention center in the region. In his opinion, he goes to counties all the time, and they all have convention centers, and Lake County doesn't have one. I'm like, okay, Phil, assuming you're right. I think by far the best location is Hobart. No doubt about it. I think building it in Hobart gives us the best chance to succeed. And quite frankly, I'm skeptical it would even succeed there. And I'm not trying to be a dick to my fellow mayor because I love Mayor Josh, okay? I think that we had a brilliant billionaire that had a convention center at 65 and 30, and he made a conscious decision to shut it down because it was killing him financially. And that was a billionaire that made that decision. I don't think government's going to do it better. But if we're going to build this thing, let's give ourselves the best chance possible and build it in Hobart. That's where I'm coming from. Because I think it's still going to be a struggle in Hobart, too.
I mean, we just heard from, like in the mailbag, I'm sure you heard that.
Yeah.
Like, and Avalon Manor's in your city,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like, how do you handle a guy like, who's been around for a long time, supported your city? I mean, what's the message to private industry?
Well, I think he kind of hit it right on the head a little bit, right? So I think the conventions that we would be attracting wouldn't compete against him. But I do think that some of the conventions that have happened in other places that can help underwrite it, because the business model, and we've seen it like letters of support. So like, we didn't go out and solicit a bunch of letters of support from my goal in this whole thing was not to divide the region. My whole goal in this was to unite the region, bring people together. To me, it doesn't make any sense or doesn't require me to go and tell somebody like, hey, Mr. Union, support this side over that side. It's going to be built with union labor anyway. So I didn't feel the need to go out and get it. But to the Avalon's point, like I think that their work's already been cut into, because the goal of a place like the Hard Rock to do their conventions there, and I'm going to a gala tomorrow there for Tradewinds, and their goal is not necessarily, in my opinion, isn't to get the people in there for the gala, which is what Avalon would be. Their primary goal would be to get them in there for that. Their goal is to get them in there so they can gamble.
Exactly.
And so I think that's cut into it more, the Avalon's more than a convention center where we would be larger shows and overnight stays and I think, but I do feel that if we get the convention center on the Route 30 corridor and more entertainment comes, more things to do, then I think that helps the Avalon give themselves a position to attract more weddings and that kind of stuff.
Mayor, I've been mayor 22 years now, okay? And I've been a mayor of a casino city for 22 years. And I could tell you something with a straight face, with 1,000% conviction. I've never received a penny for donation from Horseshoe Casino in the entire time I've been mayor, okay? And and obviously I raise money. That's part of being an elected official. The reason I don't get any money from Horseshoe is because it's against the law. They can't donate a single penny to me without violating criminal code of Indiana. True story, Kevin?
There's a code that prohibits them from
donating
to. Yep.
Okay, and we follow it. That includes tickets. That includes steak dinners. That includes all that. I don't get any of it. I never have. Right. I've heard allegations that there's a lot of freebies being given out right now to help sway votes. Do you think that's happening?
I don't know. I mean,
I
don't know. I mean, I think it's, I get.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just you're on the front line of this.
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know if I don't know that influences someone per se, right? Like, I'm not getting into like what's going where, what's happening, but I can tell you that from my perspective, that the best site is the Hobart site, and it is puzzling how somebody can get behind a site that literally, to me, isn't for the benefit of the region. And I'm not like, this is not who I am at my core, but I feel like I'm competing against the community that I want to see succeed. And like, it feels greasy to me. For me, I don't really know whether things are happening or not happening. I mean, obviously there's rumors that float around all the time, but for me, I'm being steadfast in the fact that our site's the best site, and our table's as big as it can get for people that want to join and support the Hobart location. And to your point, Mayor, it is going to be a challenge. And that is why I feel that the Hobart site even makes more sense, because we're looking at this from a different perspective and not a dollar and cents perspective, in terms of like making the convention center profitable. Our goal is to make sure that we get people to the Route 30 corridor, and when times get tough, we're going to be committed to making sure that it goes, because we aren't a for-profit business. So we're going to be committed and looking for ways to make it work. If it goes to another location and it's not profitable, do they shut it down? What happens to it after that? You know, I think the second act of a convention center is also important too.
It's interesting because I just saw something like this happen in Whiting, where Whiting built the Mascot Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And the Mascot Hall of Fame did not perform anywhere near expectations, okay? And Whiting was in red ink for years and years paying for the open Mascot Hall of Fame, and then they turned around and they flipped the shell of the building to BP, who got it on a discount, and BP's rolling in. And as it turns out, it's a happy story for
Kind of
Whiting.
a good solution.
It is definitely a good solution, because now Whiting's going to have all those BP employees walking around downtown going to the restaurants and things like that. So it's a good overall story, but what happened was Whiting lost a lot of money on building that building, keeping it open for a long time, and then selling it on a discount to BP. I think that I've heard some people talk about that could possibly happen with the Lake County Convention Center at the Hard Rock. Is if this thing doesn't perform up to expectations, Hard Rock's fine with it, because they'll just move their casino right into the convention center, and it'll be just like a part of their facility.
Yeah, I mean that's a great. I mean that's a concern for us. Like, and so for us, our plan calls for an increase in the innkeeper's tax, and I'm not even the least bit concerned with the perception of increasing the innkeeper's tax. We're one of the lowest in the state, probably the country. Probably when we go to somewhere else, we pay for an increase in innkeeper's tax. That bill would be footed by people that are outside the region, people that aren't from the region, right? Like that's where that money comes from, the innkeeper's tax. The other proposal is on the backs of that community, in terms of pledging future gaming revenue. If it doesn't go through, that is money that could be used for roads and streetlights and et cetera.
And Gary?
Yeah.
Mayor Josh, if people want to check out your proposal, where would they can they look at it online? I think the county's got a site.
Yeah, the county probably has a site. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like we've done this on a beer budget. I mean, we don't have millions of dollars to throw at this. I mean, we've scrapped and crawled. I mean, I feel like it's like David versus Goliath a little bit. You know, we're kind of on an island out there, which is funny because we were the number one site, and I keep hammering that home.
Josh, I think if we went around and we asked, there's 460,000 people that live in Lake County. Okay, I think if we went around and asked all 460,000 people of Lake County, on its face, which site do you think is the best location, you would have a clear consensus. I think it would be a clear consensus of people that chose the Hobart site over the other site. I think that's... John, I go to you for my man on the... Do you agree with that statement?
Yes. And actually, I was going to say, if chat is a snapshot of popular opinion, they're saying Hobart. So.
Jill, you've lived in the region your whole life.
My question is, so have they said what they were going to, if it goes to Gary, have they said what they were going to name it? It's not going to be the Gary Convention Center, correct?
I don't
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Hard Rock as an example, it's Hard Rock, Northern Indiana. So I imagine
so you want to
it's Hard Rock running the convention center. I imagine they take the same approach.
So you want to put two huge businesses in a city that you don't even want to attach the name to?
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
I mean, look, I'm here, we support, the other thing too is we're not a small community. We got 30,000 people. And so I feel like we're kind of a big player that doesn't get recognized as kind of a big player in this whole situation. I can tell you that when things come up in the region, Hobart is a huge contributor. The double tracking. I mean, Mayor Schneidercore jumped right on. I think he was one of the very first communities. No direct benefit to us, right? And so anytime somebody needs help,
other than Gary getting better, which is good for all of us.
Which is good for all of us, right? And so we've always been that. The question is, when that when that South Lake Mall tax appeal was going through,
Who was helping?
who
Yeah,
came
you're
to
right.
our rescue,
You're
right?
right. Good
Like
point.
nobody did. And so we had to go and lobby state legislators to get this. This wasn't something that came up out of nowhere. This is something that could have been worked on. And Melton was our state senator at that time. And so, you know, we had to fight and claw. And so for us, I'm like, when is it Hobart's turn? When do we get something that we can be proud of from a regional standpoint? We already
Love it.
to you. I mean, you are a casino community, and we compete against you for NERPC funds and things that you're with casino revenue. You're able to be a lot further along, and you're able to plan a little different than we are. As a non-casino community, it's a challenge for us. And so, you know, that's why I feel like we're trying what we can organically. This dropped in our lap. We were the #1 site, so it made sense, and it still makes sense for us to land it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's your Hobart, Indiana Mayor Josh Huddlestun. Great guest.
Thanks, Mayor Josh.
Thanks,
that was
guys.
awesome.
Thanks for
man.
getting
good.
season
Thanks for
15
coming
kicked
back.
off with us,
Yeah,
man.
it's a little bang,
It was like right off the
Boom.
bat, like with controversy, like right off the bat. Here we are. Boom.
Mayor
LOCPod's
Tom,
back.
Mayor Tom loves controversies.
We're right back.
I do. Is it today your birthday?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I do have to give
He's 56.
a happy birthday shout out to our chief of staff, Kelly. It is her birthday.
Hey,
Happy birthday,
Kelly, what's
Kelly.
up?
A lot of good April birthdays.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Josh has got an all-female mayor's office.
I
Right?
do. Yeah.
It's
And
awesome. I walked in. It's like I felt like I was at home. I have a lot of lady bosses where I work too. So
And they run the shit.
yeah, yeah,
That's for sure.
they do.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. Thanks for
bud.
bringing light
It's good to see you.
to
Thanks,
the
Mayor.
topic.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you again, I'm sure, soon. So
Sounds good.
Thanks, Josh. Good to see you. That's Josh Huddlestun, Mayor of Hobart, Indiana. Jill, it's great to see you back in studio where you belong, working hard on Friday mornings with us.
Hardly working.
Thank you
That's
for the
right.
birthday nut roll, Joe. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
Kevin's birthday nut roll, Jill.
That he didn't.
Are you a
offer
nut roll
any.
guy?
He
Oh,
is
yeah,
now.
nut roll.
He is
You
now.
can
When
have some
Jill
on the
makes
way
nut
out.
roll.
It's in the kitchen. Have some on the
That's
way
right.
out.
I gotta go.
Jay thanks, brother. Good to see you, Jay Vez. Kevin Smith, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Happy birthday tomorrow, Kevin.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Pete. Happy birthday, Nicole. Thanks for listening to LOCPod, Season 15, Episode 1. We are out. See you on Tuesday. Take care, everybody.